Butch Goring, one of the toughest competitors the NHL has ever seen, his voice cracking, his eyes filled with tears. For a man who built his career on grit, resilience, and championship glory, no one expected to see him like this. But in that moment, under the arena lights and surrounded by memories of a lifetime, the truth finally came out, and it hit harder than any body check he ever took. Fans in attendance didn't know what to do. Some stood silently, others wiped their own tears. This wasn't just a hockey story, it was human. The same man who once lifted the Stanley Cup in triumph was now struggling to get through his words. What had happened to bring a legend like Butch Goring to tears after all these years? Please like, share, and subscribe for more NHL content. To understand why this moment mattered so much, you have to go back to where it all began. Before he became a hero on Long Island, before the rings, before the glory, Butch Goring was a player who fought for every inch of ice. From his early days with the Los Angeles Kings to his legendary run with the New York Islanders, he was the spark plug every team needed. The kind of player who didn't just play the game, he changed it. But success in hockey, like life, comes with a price. Goring was the heart of those Islanders dynasties, but behind the victories were years of pain, sacrifice, and unseen battles. Every player pays a toll, and Goring's came in the form of countless injuries, lost friendships, and a relentless drive that never let him rest. As time went on, Goring transitioned from player to coach to broadcaster, becoming one of the most respected voices in the NHL. He was still that fiery competitor, only now, his arena was the booth. He became the storyteller, the analyst, the man fans trusted to bring them closer to the game. But beneath that calm professionalism, something deeper was brewing. In recent years, friends began noticing a change. Goring was quieter, reflective. He spoke less about goals and more about life after the game. When he attended alumni events, teammates noticed that sparkle in his eye dimmed just a little more each time. Something was weighing on him, something he hadn't shared publicly. And then came that emotional night, a tribute to his life and career. The ceremony was supposed to celebrate him, but it turned into something much more powerful. When Goring took the microphone, he paused for what felt like forever. Then, his voice cracked. He began to speak, not about championships or stats, but about pain, regret, and the truth he'd kept hidden for decades. He admitted that the transition after hockey nearly broke him. The silence after retirement, the loss of routine, the loneliness, it all came crashing down. He talked about the mental toll, the nights he couldn't sleep, the battles no one saw. And as he spoke, it became clear, this wasn't just about him. It was about every player who leaves the game behind and struggles to find who they are without it. Fans watching at home were stunned. This was Butch Goring, the man who never showed weakness, the man known for leadership and toughness. To see him so raw, so vulnerable, was both heartbreaking and inspiring. The arena erupted in applause, not for the goals he scored, but for the courage it took to finally open up. What he revealed next made the moment even more powerful. He spoke about how he'd kept his pain hidden, fearing that admitting it would make him look weak. For years, he bottled up everything, smiling through interviews while quietly battling depression. It wasn't until recently, with the support of his family and former teammates, that he decided to tell the truth. The twist wasn't about scandal or controversy, it was about redemption. Goring shared how he found purpose again through helping young players transition out of the sport. He became a mentor, visiting teams, sharing his story, making sure no one else had to suffer in silence. That mission became his new legacy. The crowd gave him a standing ovation. Even the toughest fans had tears in their eyes. What started as a celebration of his playing career had become a lesson about life beyond the game. Goring's honesty broke the stigma, reminding everyone that even legends need help sometimes. As the night went on, social media lit up. Players, fans, and analysts across the league flooded timelines with messages of support. Butch Goring just gave the speech every hockey player needs to hear, one comment read. Another said, he's still leading the way, just in a different battle now. The NHL itself released a statement praising Goring's courage, saying his words would inspire a new generation of players to prioritize their mental and emotional health. For a league built on toughness, that acknowledgement was a turning point. And in the days that followed, something incredible happened. Former players began speaking up. More stories surfaced, stories of pain, healing, and rediscovery. Butch's emotional confession had opened the floodgates, and the hockey community rallied behind him. He'd started a movement without even realizing it. But for Goring, the emotion wasn't about being a hero, it was about finally being free. After years of carrying his pain alone, he said sharing it felt like lifting a 1,000-pound weight from his shoulders. In his words, "I spent my life fighting battles on the ice. I just wish I hadn't waited so long to fight the one off it." Those words resonated across generations. Players from the 1980s to today said they'd never forget that night. Even current stars reached out, calling Goring a role model for strength that goes beyond the scoreboard. Now, at 75, Butch Goring stands as a reminder that true toughness isn't about hiding your pain, it's about facing it. He may have broken down in tears, but in doing so, he showed the kind of courage that defines legends. The moment will forever be remembered as the night the walls came down, the night a hockey warrior reminded the world that vulnerability is not weakness, it's power. And as he left the stage, smiling through tears, one thing was clear: Butch Goring's story wasn't over. It was just entering its most important chapter yet. Because if that moment taught us anything, it's this: heroes don't just lift trophies. Sometimes, they lift each other. And if you thought that was emotional, just wait until you hear what another NHL legend revealed next. Trust me, you won't believe who came forward after Butch's speech. Stay tuned.